Tomorrowland. Now, going into this film, I was actually quite looking forward to seeing this because I didn't know that much about the plot, and let's face it, these days it's not often you go into a film and not know too much about the plot, so for that reason I was looking forward to getting surprised and getting all this unexpectedness from the film, so I was actually looking forward to it. Now that I've seen the film, I gotta say, I thought it was a bit disappointing, to be honest. This film does have some redeeming qualities. I thought the acting was pretty solid. George Clooney was good, Britt Robertson was good, but the little girl in this film, she was really good. I mean, she was a really good actress. I mean, she was a badass when she was taking dudes out like a little ninja, and plus she had good dialogue in the film as well. I mean, this girl's gonna get quite a bit of work in the future, I'm just going to tell you that right now. And by far the best thing about this film are the visual effects and all the designs of the future and all that stuff. They were actually really awesome to see on the screen, like all the futuristic Tomorrowland stuff, things zooming over their head, and it was just really good to see. But that positive kind of leads into my first negative, and that negative being that there's actually not really that much of Tomorrowland in this film, which sounds, I know you're thinking, but it's called Tomorrowland, but exactly, I mean, you get a few times where she touches the pin and she sees a bit of glimpse of Tomorrowland, but there's just not a lot of Tomorrowland in this film. I mean, the majority of the film revolves around Britt Robinson and George Clooney and this little girl trying to find a way to get there, and then finally they get there in the third act, and I'm not going to spoil it any further, but yeah, it's just, I thought this film was like going to take place all in Tomorrowland, but it doesn't. It takes place mainly on Earth. Next negative I have is Hugh Larry. He plays the villain in this film, and I say that, the main villain, and he has very little screen time in this film. He's at the very beginning of the film for about a couple of minutes. Then throughout the next hour and 30 to hour and 40 minutes, he's not there until the third act. He finally pops up and he has about an extra 10-15 minutes of screen time. I just thought, he being the main villain, it was very underused, and I liked his presence. I thought he did a good job at the acting. It's just in terms of the actual character, really underused, I thought. Plus the third act I felt was a bit rushed. It happened really fast and it just all coming together. Lots of things are happening and it's just a bit convoluted at the end of the third act. I do think it was. So to summarise it, Tomorrowland, yeah, the acting solid in this film, special effects, CGI, visuals, they're all awesome, but the story itself, the story is interesting for like the first 2/3, and then the final third happens and it just all comes to a head and it's all just mishmashed together. I felt the villain was very underused in the film. There wasn't a lot of Tomorrowland in this film, in a film called Tomorrowland, and I found the story was a bit hard to follow and a little bit confused at times. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. So have you seen Tomorrowland, or what do you think about it? I know my opinion is probably going to be different to everyone else's. Everyone else is probably going to pick up on something that I didn't and say, oh, actually I like this more about the film. Whatever, it's your opinion, you're all entitled to it. So whatever your opinion on Tomorrowland is, leave a comment below. And if you like this stuff and you want to see more of my stuff, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, so I got stuff coming to you guys all the time.